Hi, good morning. Or afternoon, depending on where you're at. I just wanted to come on here and talk because I've been thinking. And it's snowing right now. It's cold. And I feel like days like this kind of remind me that I need to slow down, and I wanted to kind of talk about that. Something that I struggle with a lot in life, and I don't know if anybody else, I know a lot of people feel this way, and a lot of people get this way. But sometimes I struggle with slowing down. Sometimes, when I do get downtime for myself, or just like periods of time where, it doesn't matter if it's a day, if it's a week, if it's like a whole year, I get periods of time, just like anybody's life, where things just are a lot slower, and there's not a lot going on, and that can be kind of difficult. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it. And maybe it's a message. Maybe this is a message to some of my fellow race cars that take life a little too fast, okay? And have trouble slowing down. And I think on days like this, where things there's not much happening today, I'm kind of just doing all of my chores for when I go back to work tomorrow. And there's just nothing going on. And sometimes I just struggle with that. It's hard sometimes to kind of sit down and accept the fact that things aren't really, there's not much going on. And just being okay with the fact that I can give myself some grace and slow down and just kind of sit with myself for a bit. And I think this is kind of a message to the people out there that have the same experience. It is okay. It is okay to slow down. It's okay to take time to yourself, and it's okay if you feel like you're going nowhere. Because there will be periods in your lifetime where things just have to be stagnant for a bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you're getting to the point where you're getting so antsy that it's starting to become more of a problem, then I would say, I think that would be an okay time to go ahead and kind of look out for new ways to make life more exciting, or to, I don't know, start a new hobby. Try to, work harder in your career, or take classes on anything. It doesn't have to be college. It can be anything. I don't know. Travel something. It's hard to do that now but money. But there are still ways you can make life more exciting even when things feel stagnant, right? For me specifically, life has felt stagnant in the fact of just work. There's not been a lot going on in my work life. Things have been kind of slow, and it's just a period of time where we're kind of just hoping for the best right now, but things are really slow, and that means I'm getting a lot of downtime right now. And it's weird being at home, having downtime, and then going to work expecting to work, and there's not much going on. So it is interesting, especially for me. I get antsy. I can't sit in one spot and do absolutely nothing most of the day. If I do end up doing that, I have to be watching a movie, and then I have to watch YouTube because I need to kind of get that stimulation of multiple things. I can't just sit and do one thing. And usually I end up getting up multiple times anyways, right? I get up and I'll walk around, or I'll find something to do, like cleaning or playing video games, something. I have to keep my mind occupied. And it is just kind of difficult when you start to get into a routine of that's pretty much what you do every day. And it gets boring after a while. Thankfully, I've been getting into new kinds of games. I have people I can play with that make things more exciting, and I'm very grateful for that. I love the fact that I have people in my corner that I can do that stuff with. But it's still difficult to slow down. And I just wanted to come on here and say that it's completely fine. It is fine to feel like you're not moving anywhere, but I think there's a healthy way to do that. Sometimes things just are that way. Sometimes things are just slow. And it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means that either that's just where you're at with your life right now, and that's fine, or it means something needs to get changed, right? Because sometimes I think as people we get into patterns where we're constantly doing the same thing day in, day out, all week, every day, and it's okay to spice things up, if you do one thing every single day, you can maybe put something before or after that's new, and it will help stimulate you a little bit better than just doing that one thing every single day. And I think, especially the older you get, I think people have a hard time understanding that even if you're older, you can still find things to do. Just because you're older doesn't mean that you can't experience new things. Life is so abundant and the world is so wide. There are so many things you can find, right? There are so many things that you can keep yourself occupied with, that you can try out to make new experiences. And I think people forget that. People forget, and they get too in the mindset of, oh, the only thing that I think that will make me happy is doing stuff that at the end of the day is expensive. But that's not true. You can do small things that would make you exciting, like today in the snow, right? Something that I could do that could just make my life a little bit more exciting is I could just go out into the snow and make a snow angel and just be completely, it's just random, right? It would be freezing and I'm probably not gonna do that, but still, you have to look at life through the lens of almost like a kid. We all have an inner child within us that sometimes I think that we kind of hide and we kind of shut down, because right now I think people are looking for just maturity, and not in the fact of I'm not saying that our inner child's immature. I'm saying that it is a childlike wonder, right? And I think that in this day and age, it is hard to have that kind of view with a lot of the things that are going on. And it's almost outcasted. It's almost like people kind of look down on it. But you shouldn't, right? So I think it is beneficial to kind of see life through a certain lens, right? And we could all benefit especially from doing that. I think also that for some reason, especially right now, people kind of find simple life kind of boring, and it's kind of sad, because that is going to be that is going to happen whether or not you want it, right? I think there's nothing wrong with people who want to have a simple life, and I also think that there's nothing wrong with it being kind of a section of your life, because it happens, right? Sometimes we just get too into certain patterns of I wake up, make my bed, I brush my teeth, I eat food, then I go to work, and then rinse and repeat, the same thing over and over again. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? And I think I kind of struggle with that, of the fact of sometimes I feel like I have no time because of the fact that I put myself in this schedule. I put myself in a pattern where I'm okay, I have to do things on this day so that I can get ready for work and then all this stuff, but that's not true. I have time. We all have time. And I think that's why sometimes I get into the mindset of I have to go, because it's I don't like missing out on stuff. I don't want to feel like I'm not doing anything with my life because things are very patterned. But There's nothing wrong with that. And I think right now, like, with the fact that things are stagnant, it is one of the best opportunities to kind of find new things to keep yourself occupied. So, like, I've been getting really into new games, kind of watching a whole bunch of movies, you know, doing videos. It's different. It's definitely different and exciting. And I think for anybody out there that is struggling with that, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to slow down. Sometimes it just happens. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to go. Sometimes some of us just have a mindset of, I gotta get this done and I gotta get this thing done and all of this stuff. That's not a bad thing. But there is a healthy and an unhealthy amount of both of those things, of stagnation and of speeding through life. You have to be able to enjoy it. If you find yourself in a moment of stagnation and you feel like you've been in it too long and it's starting to affect your mental health, then I think that is a great opportunity to try to find a new thing to keep yourself stimulated. If you find that you feel like you're going too fast through life, like things are going, the days are just flying by and like life is becoming so much of the same, maybe it's time to also kind of mix things up, take a break. If you're constantly at work, if you can do it, take a vacation, take time for yourself. It's okay to do that. I think, it is very important to be able to kind of look after yourself and give yourself grace. Sometimes things are just like this, right? And look at the fact that life has beautiful, just simplicities, right? I love going out when it's snowing and seeing all the snow on the trees. It just makes me feel really good, right? I like cleaning my room. I like having a clean space. And it doesn't mean that I have to deep clean. It just means, making my bed, maybe vacuuming, doing a very light, wipe down of some of the areas that are high touch for me, so I'm constantly on it and using it, right? Things like that. And, in reverse of that, right, there's also the simplicity of not making your bed in the morning, having your blankets all rustled up and being able to cuddle in them and watch a movie in the morning, right? If you can spare your time. Obviously don't do it when you have things that you need to get accomplished that day or things like that, but it's okay to take time out of your day for yourself. If watching a movie is a self-care moment, then do it, right? That's simplicity. Listening to your favorite songs, listening to music that doesn't have words in it, right? Kind of having it in the background while you do something else, like a task. It feels good when you start to get in the rhythm of it, and it helps me slow down specifically. I like listening to stuff that's a bit more calm when I notice that I am going a little bit too quick. It helps me kind of slow my mind down. And I think kind of watching movies and stuff like that is the same thing, because it takes up a good amount of time to where I'm able to let my body just kind of rest. Making just food, to me, is pretty simple if you're just doing something like toast and stuff, but you can make it exciting for yourself, right? You're feeding yourself. You're putting nutrition into your body. That is a good thing. And, just things like that. Get into the rhythm of loving life. Just loving things as they come and go. Right? Sometimes you don't feel like getting up and cleaning, and that's fine, Sometimes you don't feel like going and doing that task. And as long as it doesn't hinder the rest of your week and make it harder for yourself, I don't see the problem with it, right? Going out and just doing some light shopping, of like getting some snacks, you know. Maybe you've been craving something and you go out to get some fast food or something. That's fine. And it's all in, you know, not too much. You don't want to overdo it, because then it becomes a problem of, you know, self-discipline and having to keep yourself from doing it constantly. Doing it every now and then is fine. And I think that people forget that sometimes you just have to let yourself rest for a bit. Sometimes you don't feel like doing stuff. Sometimes life feels like nothing's going on. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that things like will start to become like that. And maybe it's a time in your life where you have to look at yourself and, yeah, you know what? Maybe I do need to rest. And maybe I do need to take that vacation I've been wanting to take. Or maybe maybe it's time to go and take that class that I've been wanting to take. All of that. And yeah, I was just kind of thinking about it. So if anybody else feels that way, where they feel like they're constantly rushing stuff and it's hard to slow down, you know, just remember to take time for yourself. Remember not to be too harsh on yourself. Things happen. Sometimes life gets ahead of us. Sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. And that's okay. Just, you know, rebuild yourself. Bring yourself back in. Reel yourself in. Breathe and start from there. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyways, hope everybody has a good day. Goodbye.